Actually, today we're doing a
new show launching soon.
No hair,
Bald Bros.
Today I'd like to take all of us on a field trip over to Cruz Productions studios to walk through behind the scenes at a podcast studio. Let's go. I'm here a little bit early before our scheduled time. Take a look at this. Amazing setup. Gotta let people know what time it is. You feel you don't have enough ideas. They even provide you a reference library to get some ideas for your podcast. Dude, the main man himself. Hey, dude. Good to see you, my friend.
What's up? What
Actually, I got some stuff for you besides doing a little field trip here at the Cruz Productions studio.
All right, what are we doing?
So this is for the whole crew. We got some neck gaiters here.
What? What are these? This looks like it's George Washington. Is this
It says a dollar symbol. So we got this little cool Enigma looking thing. Courtesy of Mobile Text and Bright Hawk GPS Solutions.
Super cool. Thanks, man.
It's kind of windy right now. It's very unusual for Chula Vista or San Diego in general, but
hey,
I thought keep you guys warm.
I'll have to wear two. One for below.
Oh. Calling us out, huh?
From top.
Thanks for letting us in. Essentially, 2026 is such a hot moment to do content.
Yeah.
And it is such a great opportunity for everyone to really level up their marketing game. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I encountered working with the podcast game previously, setting up studios, setting up a home studio, there's a lot of work that goes behind that. And I wanted you to talk about the convenience of having a set place.
You know, sometimes working from home can be hard too.
Yeah.
And you have to have like a place at your house. Like, oh, this is where I do my work, and this is where I do my cooking. This is where I do my hanging out, watching TV. This is where I do my exercise. This is where I do my sleep. There's these dedicated spaces. When it comes to making content, I wanted it to be unquestionable what the space is for. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to have like a high standard online, then you should have a high standard like in the room. Also, it goes the other way. If you're going to have a high standard in the room, then it should look like there's a high standard online. They should like complement each other. It's for continuity purposes. The advantage of having a dedicated space is that it's always ready when we need it to be. And it's also a little bit flexible. Like if we need to have one or two people, that's easy. I had 5 here last week for a show. That was a little more challenging, but we still fit everybody in the room. I know not everybody's space can do that, and that's okay. We're able to make it work. Yeah. It's just not customary. But the other thing too is like it makes you show up. And I think that's the like understated, sometimes psychological part of this whole thing. Is like when you come in here and the lights are on and you got the TV there and you got all these cameras here, it's got a clock back there, you got a soundboard, someone's engineering your show with the ears on, you're like, oh, okay. Like we're really doing this. This isn't just like. And there's nothing against like throwing your phone. Like that's fine. You use your phone if that's what you got. Of course. You use what you have. But like the whole purpose is like I want you to show up ready like a pro. If you were a pro athlete, how would you show up? And if we had to build a pro studio, what would it look like?
It's very elaborate. You come in, all you have to do is focus on the things you're going to talk about, and you have a professional just covering that. And this is why it's important to have a dedicated space versus you always rearranging something. Let's say if you use your garage, for example, right? Mm-hmm. Your kids are probably in the back playing, and when it's time to do your podcast, you got to rearrange some stuff. And when you work with me or him on other elaborate content pieces where it's been structured and we're looking at a marketing plan, it's pre-planned to have a very direct message. Mm-hmm. Where when you're on a podcast, it's very much a vulnerable space. You got to see this person as if you were hanging out with them. That is a very important element to have in your business now, as far as marketing. Walk me through some of the gear here, just to kind of get that out of the way.
That's a good segue, because there's actually a psychological reason why the mics are set up and the cameras set up the same way. Because I want people to have a conversation. I don't want them being aware of that there's even cameras.
Oh yeah.
There's also enough space in here, so we can actually cut to your shot when it's just you on camera talking, but you're talking to me still. Yeah. So it feels like the viewer is getting like a kind of a third angle, third party viewer into the conversation. And that's definitely psychologically by design. We've got our letterboards. We change out whoever the show is. Yeah. The letterboard's just like a cool, unique feature. It's like old school. Yeah. You know, our time's gonna run out at some point on our hourglass. When I bought this, I said, I wonder how long it takes for all the sand to go from one side to the other. And Caitlin goes, Dad, it's called an hourglass.
There's a lot of people who haven't been on camera at all. Mm-hmm. Let's walk through. We have all the lights. Someone's looking at me, give me the cue to say something, and it's actually quiet, and we see the what's called the hourglass running out of time, and it's just bright, and you're like a deer in the headlights. What have been some of the things that you've been using to help some of these folks that are here in the first time?
This at risk of this being insulting, it's actually insultingly simple. Because most of the times when we have people here, we want them to be talking about things they talk about routinely and most confidently about as often as possible. So that is, I think, something that is a mistake or a stereotype about making filmed content inside a closed set or a sound treated room. You're like, oh my gosh, I have to say something different. Like, no, the thing that's brought you to success, that's what you should be saying. Just because the cameras are here doesn't mean you should come and say something different. You absolutely should not be using terminology it's unfamiliar to you, talking about novel concepts that you don't have any depth in. You're going to ruin your credibility that way. So a lot of times I try to remind people, like, just say the answer you'd say if you were sitting at your desk on the phone and you had no hair or makeup done. How would you talk? How would you speak? How would you say it? And here's the brutal part, everybody. If you're out in public today doing sales or conducting business, you chose that hair. You chose those earrings, you chose those glasses, you chose that outfit, you chose those shoes, you chose that bag. So whatever you're out there with, you've publicly admitted you're okay being seen that way.
Oh, man.
That is also what I tell people, show up that way.
Yeah.
Show up how you are going to be seen. Because let's say you're one way on camera, and I come to your office and you're like a totally different way. I'm like, whoa, hey, there's no congruency there.
Yeah, like, what's going on, dude?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, so I know I'm brash in that way of being like, you already know your stuff, just say it. But at the same time, I can do it delicately.
And here's why it's not an insult. Being truthful and being upfront for the fact of this is what it is. This is what you are. Take that back into real life or behind a camera. You're going to be great. And I should say front of a camera.
We've had you here a couple times.
Oh, that's right.
You've been on the BNI show. You've actually been on a couple different shows
actually.
here. What was your experience being here for you? What was that like?
Actually, that inspired me to be much more encouraging to talk to my clients. Have you thought about a podcast? And even though I can't help you, I know Andy can. The thing is, my experience though was that it allowed me to extend myself in a different platform. The setup right here actually makes me allows me here. I don't even use your 7 rules of life right there. Number 5, stay calm. Being with a bunch of people here talking with me, I'm not by myself, and that's the beautiful part. And if you were, you have all the tools to support you.
Also, here's the other thing. None of this is live TV.
No.
So we're not on air anybody. We're not like literally go to Gavin on the field, Gavin. Did you even remember to wear deodorant today?
Those Old Spice.
It's not live TV. And the other thing too is, like, we're in this age of authenticity where people want to see you be you. We have been for decades sold things in manipulative tactics to sell products, goods, and et cetera, et cetera. And I understand that there's a place and a time for that, but I also think now the jig is up. People want to spend their money and spend their time, spend their hard-earned money on things they care about with people they know are going to take care of them.
And they believe in too.
And they believe in, And I'm not going to consume media that's uninteresting to me.
No.
There's things that are relevant to me, that I have a problem in my life, I'm looking for a solution. Or I have this specific interest and I'm seeking out content about that hobby or that passion or that et cetera, et cetera.
And there's such a wide audience out there. I think that if you aren't capitalizing on marketing yourself to that specific audience that is waiting for you to tell your story or talk to them or help them, I think you're leaving a lot of opportunities on the table. And actually, I'm not sponsored by Andy at all. I literally I have a passion with telling stories and connecting with people. And I find that you and I gravitate towards that same concept and value.
We complement each other really well.
Yeah, very well.
Yeah, creatively, but also strategic, like tactically and strategy. But also just in the way we reach different people. But we can help both parties. Like it's a really cool. These are the kind of cool little collaborations that always usually net a better result for the client than if they just got one of us.
And I wanted to walk through some of the options that they have. Some of the business owners or some of the professionals that come and utilize Cruz Productions, especially for the podcast. The portion that I want to get across was that you guys have systems, really well set systems. Walk me through some of the systems that you guys have. For example, like how many episodes that you can get.
Yeah.
If you're
so bottom line up front for all you business people that want the bluff. Bottom line up front is for a flat cost, you get your block of studio time, and everything you do in that time will be delivered back to you ready to use. You don't have to edit anything. You shouldn't have to cut anything.
Yep.
In our baseline package, if you want to rent an hour of time in the room, you're getting more than the room. You're getting the finished product too. So the whole goal here, think of it this way, is when you order something online from Amazon, when it's delivered to you, it's ready to use. Minus the things you have to assemble. For our long form conversations for 1 hour of time, it's $450.
Yep.
And it includes the long form, full length video in 4K and HD, and the MP3 that you're going to put on the podcast syndication, and the thumbnail, and the transcript, and all the vertical shorts that you're going to use for TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts.
I'm going to reiterate, I am not a salesperson for this guy. And guys, if you don't call in the next 20 minutes, you're going to be missing out on this crazy deal. And
that's our regular price.
And that's your regular price. And what's crazy is that you have something that just streamlined, ready to go.
But there's also a case for you maintaining your expertise in your area of field of trust without having to learn this whole new skill set.
Yeah.
And that's why we did it this way, is so that people with a storied career or a long career, 5, 10, 15, 20 years of the business they're doing, they can walk in here, turnkey, do what they need to do, and they can leave.
If you're not ready, or you think there's too much podcast out there, you're not going to be doing something. Don't you have a podcast called I already have a podcast or something like that?
Well, hold on. So you made a great point about that, and then I'll tell you the answer.
Okay.
The great point you made is, I was at a training session, and the guy said, well, what happens if you're on the radio station? There's all these radio stations and all these artists and all these songs to drive home the idea that it doesn't matter that there's someone already in your industry, already doing a podcast, and already having it online. There's how many country artists? How many country stations? How many whatever? So, take Gavin's point.
It's like everyone has a podcast. That's what it's called.
Everybody has a podcast.
I thought it was genius.
So, I had this idea. I was like, okay, it just seems like everybody these days has a podcast. Like, this is mine. So I made my own show called Everybody Has a Podcast.
That's hilarious.
And the guests are all either clients of ours that run their show here, or they're people that aren't even our client, but they have their own show. And it strictly is to bridge the gap between the people who are thinking about starting a show, they have some reservations, and they don't know what to do, or they're not sure about this, that, or the other thing, and they can hear from someone who's a peer. Not from a sales guy, not from the guy that owns it, not from the guy who's running the team, but someone who's in their peer space. They go, oh, I could do this. That person could do it. And they see themselves in the guests that we have here.
And I'll leave the why portion for you guys to answer, because you will discover when you start doing it why you're doing it, and instead of having someone else's why thrown at you. Actually, do you have a few minutes where we could say hi to your crew?
Come on in, Jill.
Come on in, Jill.
Hi,
just want to say what's up to Gavin, the full behind-the-scenes crew here. Thank you for making the magic happen here behind Cruz Productions. How long have you been working here, and what do you like about podcast production?
I've been working here for 4 weeks, and I like listening to all the podcasts and the stories behind them, and all the people that filter through here.
Wow. What's really funny about this studio too is that there are some things that were built, designed for the guests, and they don't even use them. And I'll give you you probably know where I'm going. Where is it? Grab me a headphone here.
Right here. Yeah.
Look at this. Right under the desk here,
Yep.
You have headphones. In the beginning, when I saw a lot of podcast episodes done here, you'd see people wearing them, but now they barely wear them. What do you guys do now? Like, what's your...
It depends on the person's comfort. Some people actually have a hard time talking when they hear themselves, like directly. So there's it's like a feedback loop. So it's I'm talking to myself. Oh, I can hear myself in my ears. This is weird. So some people, it actually stifles them. Yeah. So we go with whatever's going to be most conducive for getting the quality shot and the quality show, without the person being even more nervous than they might be already. The other thing is that for those who are comfortable in headphones, it actually helps people prevent interrupting one another.
Oh, yes. That's why I've been interrupting you the whole time. Sorry.
If we're both talking at the same time, say, which cut do we use? We got to go to the wide shot. We can use the Gavin shot or the Andy shot.
Right.
And in an audio world, it can be disruptive if you're only doing audio and you're just listening to an audio podcast. That can sometimes be an issue.
Come on in. We got another mastermind coming on down.
Say hey real quick.
We just want to say hi.
We're doing a vlog about podcasting.
Yeah. What's it like being behind the camera and doing running the board and all that stuff?
Fine. Once I learned the process, it was easy.
That's freaking awesome.
It became muscle memory.
That's exactly why the productions always come out great, is because you're having fun and you make it look seamless, and it's the magic behind that we don't see. And I want to let people know that hey, there's some work behind it, and
this is who's editing your awesome videos. If you
and the
love
colors
it,
are
that's what it is.
intact, all that good stuff.
It looks
It's
the way
amazing.
it's supposed to.
Actually, today we're doing a confession episode today.
New show launching soon.
No hair, yeah.
Bald Bros. Wow.
But hey, thanks again for giving us the quick tour and bringing the whole crew, and yeah.
Thanks for doing this, by the way. I'm glad you came by. I know you've been here before, but it's cool to do it in this format, just on the fly. This is neat. I really want people this year to step into some sort of content, even if they don't make it with me. I earnestly mean that. I don't care if you use me or not. I just need you to go make the thing that's going to help you thrive in 2026.
It's like one big party.
I love seeing people's confidence increase after they kind of get some reps under their belt. They feel comfortable, and then they come in and like, boom, I'm ready. I'm like, whoa, okay. Yeah. And then like this leveling up happen, and it's almost like this, I don't say forced maturity, but it's like this default growth that happens when people know they got to show up ready, they got to have a conversation, host a good chat, and then they're going to be displayed in this like very high standard. It really is starting to change some people's cadence.
It's the basic idea of communication.
Yeah.
How are we connecting with each other?
Yeah.
And how can we find the whole Cruz Production crew?
So best way to reach us to check out our studio options is cruzproductionsinc.com. If you want to follow our exploits on the gram, on Instagram, you can look up Cruz Productions Inc. You can also find us on YouTube for Everybody Has a Podcast. Thanks, Gavin. Appreciate you, man.
I'll see you later.
See y'all later. Bye.